Happy New Year. Hope everyone here had a good Christmas. And we're getting back into the swing of things. So we're kind of going back a couple weeks to kind of like a little bit thing that we did during Christmas. I don't know if y'all follow us on the story or on the story. If y'all follow us on the Instagram and you saw our story on there around Christmas, you know that we did a little Christmas gathering. We did food. And watched a Christmas Carol, and we didn't record it because it was kind of just like a little short discussion that we just had, but we're going to go into that today, kind of just on like things that we pulled from A Christmas Story. Like one of the reasons why I wanted us to watch it, because there was a creator that I saw before that he kind of, in his eyes, considers A Christmas Carol to be almost somewhat of a fifth gospel and just the redemption story of Ebenezer Scrooge and all of that, but there's a lot of things that we can kind of take from that, put into our own lives, and also take from that as take some stuff from that as we also look forward into the new year.
Correct.
But yeah, have any opening comments?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I would just say, I guess do a brief recap if you haven't seen A Christmas Story in a while. If you didn't watch it over your holiday movies, you should have. One of the best ones. But of course, story of Ebenezer Scrooge. Bah humbug. Doesn't really like Christmas. He's a pretty ruthless businessman. Doesn't care for others. Doesn't care for charity or anything like that. It's really only worried about money and saving a buck. And then kind of go into a couple stuff further into the story. Old business partner returns as it goes, saying that because he's kind of like in his own version of hell in a way, and he's trying to warn his old business partner / friend to avoid the fate that he is in, saying that he has a chance to escape this fate. He's going to visit by 3 ghosts, past, present, and future. Each ghost kind of goes over a certain bit of Ebenezer's past and future and present and so on and so forth, kind of showing him who he is, who he could be, impact that he's had, and bad and good, and so on and so forth, and kind of ends up in the end of him kind of just making a complete 180 on his life and repenting and so on and so forth, being charitable, helping out the Correction family, helping out those in need and so forth. But if you kind of go into the author's standpoint of why am I blanking on the author for a moment? Oh shoot.
What's it?
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, why am I?
Don't tip my tongue.
Same here. Excuse me a moment. Charles Dickens. I'm sorry. We're still we're getting back into the swing of things. Getting the
cheese flowing through our bodies right now.
That too.
That slows the brain down.
That slows the brain, but it's good for the. Actually, I did see something that cheese is really good for the body.
I could see that.
Actually, I saw something that if your body can handle cheese, it's already stronger than a majority of other people's. If it can handle dairy products.
Love that.
It's a sign of having a good, healthy body if you can handle dairy.
Perfect. We straight.
Yeah. Even if you can't handle dairy, it's so good where you can.
Yeah, that's
If I was
true.
lactose intolerant, I would still eat cheese.
You have to figure out how to tolerate it.
Yeah, you
just so
suffer the
good.
consequences.
Yeah.
With a smile on your face,
Exactly.
knowing that you're going to do it again.
Exactly. It's worth it.
Indeed. But back to it. So Charles Dickens, of course, he was a very strong Christian, and of course he wrote the book A Christmas Carol with these Christian notes in mind, the story of redemption in oneself. But kind of like, I guess, a point that we hit earlier when we watched the movie and we were having a little bit of discussion after it, and like talking about how it's not too late and that you can still like make a 180 on your life, completely turn your life around no matter how old you were, because Ebenezer, he was a pretty old guy. But yeah, the fact that it's never too late to give your life to Christ and so on and so forth, and being charitable.
And that kind of goes off. I'll just read this little passage out of Ephesians, kind of describing basically exactly what happened to him. Ephesians 2:1-5, I believe it is. You were dead through the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following in the course of this world, following the ruler of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work among those who are disobedient. All of us once lived among them in the passions of our flesh, doing the will of the flesh and senses, and we were by nature children of wrath, like everyone else. But God, who is rich in mercy, out of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead through our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved and raised up with him and seated with us and seated with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. And it goes on a little bit farther, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
That's good, though. That kind of explains it perfectly as far as like our own condition as also the condition and the theme of the story itself.
Right.
Also, fun fact, it's a perfect, kind of tells the story about being socialist to capitalist, too. It is an interesting, because there's that bit where he says, like, when he's like, are there no prisons? Are there no poorhouses? Are there no work?
Yeah, that's
true. He's like,
yeah,
they're all in operation. He's like, well, yeah, then I was worried because I put my tax dollars to those every year, and they're supposed to take care of it instead of putting matters into your own hands and actually taking care of people personally and not relying on institutions. That's a good point, but that's a side point.
Interesting.
That is a very good point.
Wow.
Yeah. But one thing I think I wanted to look at, kind of looking at the story, like I guess into also a New Year's standpoint, as far as like saying like in the story of Scrooge about like how like all the ghosts kind of go through certain aspects of his life, and it's kind of like looking back on either choices you made that have led you to a certain direction or that have led you astray in certain ways, or just a lot of just self-reflection. I feel like that's one of the best things to kind of start off the new year with, kind of self-reflecting, like, okay, like of course, like we always can do better, but kind of looking back on the years, like, okay, what did I do good? What did I do bad? What did I struggle with? How can I make that better? And like, how can I better serve God, and how can I be better suited for the role that he has set for me, even if I may not know what that is, but just, yeah, I feel like it's a good way to kind of start off the new year.
That's kind of crazy. So this morning, I went to a Presbyterian church with my friend, and just crazy. But they had this diagram they showed on the screen, like towards the end, and basically it was shaped like this. And this side was like the more you know about God, and then this side was the more you understand about sin, basically. So like the more you know about God, the more you understand about sin was the gist of the diagram. And it really made me think about, like, you know, when you first come to Christ, you first start reading the Bible or whatever, you understand the basics of sin, you know, don't kill, don't lie, don't cheat, X, Y, Z. But then the further you get into your relationship, you understand the roots of your sin and the different things that cause you to commit different sins. And it just becomes a lot more deep and profound, I think, than telling a lie. Yeah. And yeah, that's kind of crazy that happened this morning, but it really made me think about, especially like in terms of the new year.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about why do you fall into certain things, or why do you let certain things happen in your life. It's a good time to really reflect on, you know, how far God has taken you and how far you've come in your relationship with him and what he's trying to show you next, I guess, in terms of your sin.
I once saw someone explaining, and they made a really good point, but if there's like specific things that the devil and the enemy are trying to tempt you with, it kind of reflects on like what God has like planned for you in a way.
Yes.
It's kind of like the opposite. Like he's like, if he's trying to bring you into like lust, for example, that means he wants you to have a family. He wants you to have a godly wife in that sense, and the enemy's trying to take you away from that.
Correct.
Or I guess in another case, I don't really see how gluttony would be a thing. I guess that means just stop eating.
Self-control.
Self-control. Yeah, self-control. Yes.
That I had seen a really good like one-liner about that exact thing, and I'm not going to get it quite right, but it was something about like your greatest sins kind of equal your greatest callings in a way, because it's like you're trying to find alternative sources, you could say,
The enemy's
to
trying
fill
to
that void.
Yeah, or more or less, the enemy's trying to
Yeah.
tempt you to find ways because he knows, like, okay, like I can't. God has Satan, the enemy does know you to an extent, not to the same extent that God knows you. But he knows, like, okay, like this is how I can kind of try and rip him from God. Like if I get him using his talent for this instead and use it for me instead.
Yeah,
instead of
or
what
if
he
I
was
can
meant to.
convince him to settle for this instead of what God has, got him.
Yeah.
Your greatest sin is that you're betraying yourself, and the bad part about sin is that you're separating yourself from God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's bad.
And you're cutting yourself short in a way.
Yeah.
I really what it boils down to, because I mean, God's plan really is greater than anything that the enemy can try and deceive you with. Because I mean, a lot of the stuff the enemy will try and deceive you with is things that are short term. Like it may feel like it's going to lead to something great in the end, but leaves you flat and feeling empty in the end. So.
Yeah, and I think I've definitely learned that, and like, that's the importance of praying about decisions before you make them.
Yeah.
You know, because you will figure out if it's right for you or not if you pray about it. But sometimes we're even too afraid to pray about it because we don't want to find out.
Sometimes we're afraid to hear the answer that we don't want to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then don't be. Like we've actually had a discussion on this before, as far as like praying, actually hearing an answer. Like you can be. Like you really do have to really quiet, and it's not like just like quickly saying like, "Gosh, should I do this or not?" And then just like, okay.
Yeah.
Hearing the first thing, like you really do have to, kind of in a stage of I guess meditation, or really quieting your mind and really listening to God, whether that be through praying, or whether that be through reading His words or getting into His presence of some sort. But like when it comes to like making decisions like that, it's like God will guide you,
Right.
whether through prayer or through Scripture. There's an answer. That's a very, very clear answer. It's just you gotta find it and just don't be deceived.
Right. It's true.
It took a bit of a turn I wasn't expecting, but I'm
Yeah.
glad it did.
That was really good.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, don't you have anything else? Man. I know you're kind of coming off with some stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, spitting
Whoa.
fast.
Spend some facts.
Like,
Preach!
I know a lot of Jews, they kind of believe that hell is just separation from God.
Which in the
Like-
sense that it is, yeah.
Like, there's no hell after we die. It's just that hell is like on earth, and you're separating from God. So if you stay with God,
Yeah.
you know.
Which in a sense, I guess they kind of have it. I mean, funny enough, kind of like saying with the Bible, they have it half right. They're almost there, but like in the sense of like, yeah, like hell is complete separation from God, and it's kind of given you for those like who truly reject God, and they don't like, I reject everything that God stands for. I don't want to be with God. You're okay.
Yeah.
Your wish is my command. Here you go.
That's the punishment. It's like in training where you're like, if you want to be in this unit, like you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
It's like with God, He's like, you really want to be with me, and you have to be with me now when it's hardest to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you a reward.
Yeah.
Very
And
true.
it's kind of like, yeah, like it may seem like the thing is like it is kind of, we talked about it before, kind of like when you first kind of make that conversion, like everything does feel nice, but then the enemy he's gonna try and find, he's gonna find a way to try and drag you back to him, and then
Yep.
that's when it's really, you really have to be strong in your faith and really not even be strong personally, because the Bible talks about how we are not strong enough to resist the devil. Because I mean, we fall to his schemes any time, but through God's strength, we can fight him off. Only through the power of Jesus.
Yep. Verses make me think of now. Need to find it.
What do you think?
There's a note I had made in here, and it ties directly to that, but I can't remember.
Do you kind of remember what the verse is about?
I mean, it was basically just that, like, when you're really living for God, you are going to have suffering and you're going to have testing. It was one of those verses, like,
Yeah.
you will have to become very disciplined. I swear it was back here, but I can't.
I feel like that's
Seem to
something,
find
I feel like that's something Peter.
Yeah, that is kind of giving Peter. Let's see.
That's Peter.
It's giving Peter.
Giving
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hey! I'm like,
That's
who
right.
who writes most like that?
That's true.
Because I mean, and actually that would really make sense in Peter's sense, because he, out of all the disciples, he probably get kind of challenged the most.
That's true. Yeah, so I had written that next to, which I didn't, this verse, which is 1 Peter 2:20. If you endure when you are beaten for doing wrong, what credit is that? But if you endure when you do good and suffer for it, this is a commendable thing before God. For to this you have been called, because Christ also suffered, that you leaving you as an example, so that you should follow in his steps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth.
Yeah. It's kind of talking about like suffering through it physically and mentally. I mean,
Yeah.
for us, I mean, we are privileged in the sense where we're not really persecuted to the extent that they are, and persecuted to the extent that we see in other places throughout the world, especially like in places like Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, India, they're bad at it. Well, they're not bad. No, they're bad towards Christians. This is a bad way to, better way to put it. They're not bad at it because they're burning down churches and whatnot.
True.
China, that's bad. North Korea. I actually saw, I saw a report that a 2-year-old in North Korea got in prison because she was found with the Bible.
2 years old.
2 years old. 2-year-old little girl was in prison for being found with the Bible, and that probably, I would not imagine that she's alive.
Yeah, probably not. Especially if she's a girl. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And China's bad too.
Yeah.
But you can have the Chinese Bible though, where Jesus sins in the Bible. And also the 10 Commandments are like communist ideals instead of the 10 Commandments that we know.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like the 10 Commandments, I think are all stuff like from Mao. Like things that Mao was kind of pushing when he was around, which is really bad. If you don't know who Mao is, go read some history.
That's awful.
He's bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, no, but like kind of going back to that, but I mean, actually I kind of just kind of put it up plain and clear. I can't really think of much else to add on to it, but like, yeah, standing strong with God and having faith in God through the good and the bad and throughout this year.
Yep.
I mean, I can't really think of much else to put on it because I really framed it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess just being open to transformation in areas of your life that you don't think right now, you might not think that you need transformation in, but, you know, see what
be open
in the story. Yeah, exactly.
Be open to, like, you may not think, like, something is bad at first, but kind of like how you're talking about before, like, as we grow in our relationship with Christ, we kind of tend to realize, like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. There's, like, we kind of notice, like, more bad habits that either are or that could possibly lead us to fall astray.
That's right. We gotta lock in.
Gotta lock in. Do it!
Not again.
We won't go into discussion about what it was about, but why, would you like to talk about it, or get your, no, get your finger out the button, get your finger out. I'm not going to talk about, I was just going to talk about how we were watching the Shia LaBeouf video of him going, just do it, earlier.
Encouraging some locking in.
Yeah. Make your dreams come true. Do it!
Exactly. People can do hard things.
Yes. Just gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
Correct.
I got a cousin who actually looked exactly like Shia LaBeouf. Like, he had a beard and he looked exactly like Shia LaBeouf from that video. We were getting him to do it all the time. It was hilarious.
Crazy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I think Peyton's had one too many drink.
Yes, clearly Jesus turned my water into white wine. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Clear,
right.
clear wine, man.
Yeah, clear wine. Appalachian wine.
Delicious.
Yeah. No water. Too much cheese.
Trying to stereotype me? That Appalachian wine?
You're not from Appalachia.
Exactly.
How would I be stereotyping you if you're not from
Bro,
Appalachia?
because that's a universal thing. It's not just an Appalachian.
How's that?
How do you think-
What the heck are you talking about?
You talking about
Bro,
moonshine?
that's how I got
That's
here.
how I was joking. That's what I was kind of joking about. But like, how is that stereotyping you? Because you're not Appalachian.
Bro, that's what I drove here on.
What do you mean? That's what you drove
Bro,
here on?
I put it in the truck and it runs fine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
You can put it in a tractor though. That'd be fine. No,
There was actually a car. I can't remember the name of it. We've talked about it before. I can't remember the name of the car, but literally the car could run off of anything that was combustible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like it could run off peanut oil.
I know
It
that.
ran off of Chanel number 12, cognac, hairspray.
Oh.
Hairspray is crazy work.
Yeah, so basically any kind of chemical that was combustible, it
Bro.
could run off of.
I know who drove that.
Jay Leno did a whole dot.
Bro, this guy drove it.
But no, it was a documentary that Jay Leno did on it. It's great. It's insane.
That's wild.
Well.
And I wonder why they got rid of it. But yeah. What are you doing with it? It's not
Do you want me to
ugly.
shut off?
No. Did I say
Just yapping.
I mean,
We
yeah,
haven't
you were
even
just
done yet.
yapping, man.
Are you feeling like I can drink?
I don't know. You keep on reaching. You're like,
He's excited to press the button.
What? Do you have somewhere to be?
Bro, yes, I have somewhere to be.
Oh!
No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
do you? No.
No. I'm just,
Inside jokes.
you were
inside jokes.
about to. Not good
A
subject.
sensitive
there, buddy.
topic.
Yes, buddy.
Fair enough. It happens.
Indeed.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess we are kind of on. Do you have any other?
I didn't have anything really major.
Yeah, I mean that was. Yeah, it kind of took a turn, but it's kind of, I would say, kind of as far as like for our closing a little bit, I would say kind of like keep the things in mind as far as like looking back on the previous years, looking on how to be better, and also in the sense of growing in your relationship with Christ. And I would just see how you can improve on your relationship and be open to new things that God can bring towards you, whether that be opportunities or whether that be looking into something in yourself and with self-reflection and just be more aware. Because I mean, as we grow in our relationship with Christ, Satan brings us more challenges and more ways to try and get us to fall.
Yeah. The only other thing I could think of was I was listening to a sermon sometime this week, and it was talking about the saying, like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish that's important. And it was basically saying, like, it's kind of wrong, especially, like, as we get into the new year, like, you should start off on the right foot. You know, you shouldn't just say, oh, I can get to that next month. I can grow closer to God next month. Like, no, if you start very strictly this month, you're starting the year off on the right foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. And then also I was thinking, of course it's important to focus on your own relationship with God, but like if you have someone else in your life who you really want to see come to Christ, you know, don't lose hope throughout the year. You know, the transformation, it's very possible. You know, like He can do it. He can work all things together. So just keep praying, keep trying.
Yeah.
They'll get there.
Yeah, not really much else, but just continue to have faith in God and be open to all new doors that He may open to you this new year.
Correct.
And yeah, I think that's
It's about that.
about it. So may we start this new year off to a good bang, and yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.